Today we're ranking every single Eldrazi on a tier list. And we're here with my brother. And I asked him what Eldrazi we're going to start off with. And what did you say?
Doesn't matter, reshaper.
Doesn't matter, reshaper. For colorless, remember this diamond, that's colorless. You gotta spend colorless, you gotta spend like, not generic mana, or I guess generic mana, but it can't be just any mana. It's gotta be colorless mana. It came from like a soul ring or something. And then 2 generic, that can come from anything. For a 3/2 Eldrazi, when Doesn't Matter Reshaper dies, reveal the top card of your library. You may put that card on the battlefield if it's a permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. So some great things about Matter Reshaper is great on defense. You want to attack into me, bro? Sure, go for it. We're probably trading creatures. And then after that, I'm going to get a little something. It's like, you know what, now that I look at it, it's like a mini Risen Reef. Because Risen Reef has whenever an elemental enters the battlefield, you go crazy. This is a one-time Risen Reef effect. You can put it onto the battlefield if it's a permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less, or you just draw a card. It's good stuff. So it doesn't matter, reshaper. Now, it's not the biggest creature in the world, mind you. It's not the biggest creature in the world, but where are we going to put it? I think this is a solid B tier card.
It's D tier.
No, wait.
This card has never caused you any problems.
Well, it doesn't... I got Island Walk, all right? I can Island Walk past all the big, scary Eldrazi. And by the way, this was actually, this whole idea for a show was a dono from somebody. Sorry. But, you know, sometimes you guys have really good ideas. All right, Tristan says Kozilek.
It says Kozil.
Kozilek. Which one? We have a few of them. Okay, let's go with the Butcher of Truth. The Big Daddy Kozilek. Big Papa. For 10 mana, 12/12 Eldrazi. When you cast this spell, draw 4 cards. Has Annihilator 4. Nasty. One of the nastiest mechanics in all of Magic the Gathering. When you attack, you gotta sack 4. Your opponent has to sack 4 permanents. And when Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, is put into a graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library. So you can use this as protection versus mill. Like, you don't even have any purpose for this card. You have no intention of casting this card. You can put it in your deck, and then as your opponent mills it into the graveyard, I'm gonna shuffle all that graveyard back into my library. It's like your opponent burning you down to 5, and then all of a sudden you go back to 20 life. That is backbreaking. It is such a beating. Now, and of course, you know, if you do cast this card, drawing 4 cards ain't bad. Who's gonna say no to that? So Kozilek, I actually think this is one of the better Eldrazi's out there. We are gonna make this an S tier card in terms of versatility and power. And of course, if you actually get this card onto the battlefield, that's great too. Joe says, I'm glad we're doing the Eldrazi because I got a whole Joda Eldrazi commander. Oh yeah, you love them commanders, huh? Let's get Aeon's Torn out of the way. All right, Memento, you got it. Let's do Aeon's Torn.
It's right here.
Yeah. Yeah, we have one over here that I opened in a booster. All right, Emrakul the Aeon's Torn for 15 mana. Has anyone ever cast this for actual mana? I actually saw Aspiring Spike the other day. He had some crazy amulet deck that just generated 15 mana, no problem. If you can actually cast this, you're gonna get an extra turn out of this. So it's Time Walk on top of a 15/15 that is uncounterable. It's got flying. One of the most broken mechanics in all of Magic the Gathering. Be very fearful of the flyers. And it's protection from spells that are more than one color. But that only means on the stack. So you can play a spell, and when it enters the battlefield, it can affect Emrakul, like Oblivion Ring or whatever, but it does have protection from spells that are on the stack. And it's got Annihilator 6, so it wipes out basically your entire board. Very rarely will you have anything left in play after an Emrakul attacks you. And of course, it also has the same benefit as the last Eldrazi Titan. When it hits the graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it back into its owner's library, so... Big Mama! This is the mom of all the Eldrazi. Also definitely deserving of S tier.
Looks like a piece of sea coral.
Sure. Well, a lot of people consider her the big spaghetti monster.
It's got a big barnacle on it.
Robert! Salvage, Drone, and Ingest were interesting cards and mechanics, but could have been a lot better without being broken. But were they really broken? Look at the Salvage Drone. I don't remember them being too bad. There was a moment where there was like a big Ingest deck in Modern, but I was like, just for a second. All right, we got a blue 1/1 Devoid, Ingest. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of their library. So it's like it almost has like a milling strategy almost to it. When it dies, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So it's like it's got a little bit of a looting. But it's a 1/1 dink. It's just a 1/1 dink. It sure has no color for a card that costs a blue, but I think this is a D tier card. I don't think we can reasonably play this card anywhere at all.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, sorry. Joe, It That Betrays. We're gonna count that as an Eldrazi card. Sure, It That Betrays. If it oh no, it is I thought it was a sorcery. Sorry, I totally forgot about this card.
Yeah.
So it's 12. So it's a 12 mana 11/11 with Annihilator 2. Whenever an opponent sacks a non-token permanent, put that card onto the battlefield under your control. I believe this is like a pretty good commander card. So like it really prevents your opponents from sacking stuff. Because if they want to, they can't go infinite because you have It That Betrays on the battlefield. Not to mention, if you make your opponent sacrifice stuff, then it's going to come back onto the battlefield under your control. And you don't need to have like a hardcore Eldrazi type of setup. You could just have It That Betrays plus a good sacrifice strategy. I like the face on this guy.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
He's funny. He's a funny guy, isn't he?
It's like from Miyazaki anime.
Yeah, something like that. Your pleas for death shall go unheard. Sure. Sure, bud. I think this is not a bad Eldrazi. It's not one of the worst. We're going to give it a nice B tier. It's got some good playable synergy and stuff. We got Tristan here with Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Ulamog. Is this like the most commonly played Eldrazi by today's standards, especially in competitive play? 10 mana for a 10/10, and when you cast Ulamog, it's like basically permanent destruction. You exile 2 target permanents. That is an absolute beating. Indestructible, and whenever Ulamog attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of his or her library. Whenever I'm up against an Ulamog, I'm always wondering, am I gonna get decked out before I get like beaten down? Doesn't even have trample for some reason. Of all the things, you could block this thing with a squirrel. A 1/1 squirrel. Boink! Just, yeah, I blocked the Ulamog. His big fists and tentacles. Rawr, and then just blocked by a 1/1 squirrel.
You can trickster it to get rid of the mill.
Yeah, you could tap this thing down a few times, absolutely. So on flavor, total fail, but in terms of power, still really strong because it like beats your library to hell. I know it does that. One of the best Eldrazi, and actually more castable for the big mana decks because it's not like 15 mana or anything like that. So this is actually easily an S tier card, an S tier Eldrazi. All right, what do we got next? You guys seem to want All Is Dust for some reason. What's with the All Is Dust? All right, we'll go with All Is Dust. Is that an Eldrazi card? Like, is that tribal Eldrazi? It is actually. All right, 7 mana. Tribal sorcery, Eldrazi. Each player sacks all color permanents they control. One of the absolute most devastating, like, Wrath of Gods of today. Except you don't just wrath the creatures, you wrath everything. And of course, if you're a colorless deck, you don't really care. Your Eldrazi are going to live, your artifacts are going to live, your Karn the Great Creator is going to live, your Karn Liberated's going to live, your Ugin's going to live.
Tron loves this card.
Tron... Well, Tron usually just... If you got 7 mana, you probably have 8 mana. You might as well play Ulamog, which basically does the same thing. I mean, it doesn't mind this card. It doesn't mind the card. But it can't be played everywhere. So yeah, I mean, you have to build the right deck around it. It's a really strong card though, so I'm gonna put an A tier. Very, very strong. It's a board wipe of all board wipes. Box of Boxes says It That Betrays was one of the first cards you ever got. That's nice. Sweet stuff. The Eldrazi Titans should protection from everything except Planeswalkers. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting flavor. But is that even true? Eldrazi Duster is really OP. Oh, you're talking about, I assume you mean All Is Dust. Does Painter Servant work with lands? Yes, it does. All permanents. Change colors. All right, what do we got? Bane of Balaged. Is that an Eldrazi?
You said that 4 times now.
Yeah, we'll get a counter. It is an Eldrazi. All right. 7 mana for a 7/5. Whenever Bane of Balaged attacks, defending player exiles 2 permanents he or she controls. Why don't they just call it Annihilator 2? Attacks, defending player exiles. Oh, you don't sacrifice. That's the difference. It's like a level up from Annihilator.
He's wearing a sweater. Must be cold.
Well, when you deprive all the resources from Zendikar, yeah, you change the weather. It's not going to be so tropical around there anymore. Yeah, you need that. You need that little sweater over there. So any our sweater Eldrazi. 7 mana for a 7/5. That is C tier territory if I ever heard it. It's not the worst card, but it's not good. I'm not fist pumping putting this card in my deck. But whatever. We're going to put it in there. Ulamog's Crusher. I think this might see... This technically sees a little bit more play than other Eldrazi because I believe it is a pauper playable. 8 mana for an 8/8 Eldrazi with Annihilator 2. Ulamog's Crusher attacks each combat if able. Is this not one of the win conditions in Tron? In Pauper Tron? I'm almost 100% sure this sees play in Pauper Tron. I don't really want to put it too high up on the rank, though, because it's still overall a pretty bad card. It is a Paupertron playable. All right, we're gonna move it up. Like it's underwhelming. It's an 8/8 for 8. If anything, it's not that much better than this other guy that we had over here, but it sees some play in Pauper, so we're gonna give it a B. Basically, it is B because it is a common. That's the only reason we can give it a B. It is literally a common. I died so many times to it. Oh, Brandon, having those flashbacks. Oh, no. All right, we got... Can you read this?
Dread Drone.
No. The name.
Oh.
Apparently you can read some Russian. I didn't know that. Mick. Thank you very much, Mick. Dread Drone.
Mikhailo.
Oh, probably Mikhail.
Mikhail.
That's all we need. All right, Mikhail. Dread Drone. Black for generic for a 4/1 Eldrazi drone. And whenever the Dread Drone enters the battlefield, put 2/0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have sack this creature, add 1 mana to your mana pool. I think these are very underestimated creatures. So you have like a body on the battlefield, but also you've got mana. These are mana producers. It's like ramp. Anyway, any of the ramping cards are good with me. They're worthy of C tier. All the way up there on C tier. What, are I pumping you up for like an A or B? No, it's going to C. It doesn't see any competitive play. So like C is for, it doesn't see competitive play anywhere. And it's better than D. That's, that's how I'm ranking these things. In S tier, people love them. See a lot of play in Commander, competitive play. A tier, also strong competitive cards that sees play across a lot of stuff. And B is like sort of those middling cards. What do we got? Oh, Void Winnower from DJ Sushi. That is a cool one. Void Winnower. A little bit of a janky card, but still a good card. 9 mana for 11/9. Isn't this Sanctum Prelate? Your opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana cost. 0 is even. Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana cost. So it's Sanctum Prelate for odd. Sorry, hold on. No, Sanctum Prelate is only one number, right? You have to choose 1, 2, or 3. This one is just all of the odd numbers. You're going to be the odd one out. Yeah, this is a jank card. Make sure your entire deck is all odd.
That Ob Nixilis guy has the quote on it.
Do you want good synergy? Soul Ring, Mana Vault. Well, you can't play Grim Monolith. Can't play Grim Monolith. You can't play, well, I guess you could play them to get up to this point. So you cast the damn card. Alright, where are we going to put Void Winnower? We'll give it A. It's a good card. A little janky. I think it's good enough. I think it's... Or do I put it B? Again, I don't know the prevalence of this card in Commander. I imagine it's pretty high, so I'll give it A. We'll put it in the A tier. It's just your opponents. You can cast even mana spell. Oh! Oh, Q every... Cue everyone who's rejoicing in the comment section. Nikachu doesn't read the cards properly. Your opponents can't block, and your opponents can't cast. Yeah, we can play all our even mana stuff. All right, A is no problem. A is Void. You like that one? All right. Well, we put it there. All right, we're gonna rank way more cards, way more Eldrazi cards. But right now we gotta take a moment to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. Get your Force of Wills.
They're not cheap.
Well, they could be worse. Deal of the week this week. Save 15% off Streets of New Capenna singles and sealed product. So you need your Triumphs, your Ledger Shredders, your Jetmir, Nexus of Revels. All right, go get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. You better believe I've been getting some of my cards from FusionGamingOnline.com because I'll be there at MagicCon Minneapolis playing Modern and Legacy. I've got the singles prepared for my decks. And I use coupon code Nikachu to get myself 5% off my own purchases. And you can do that too, by the way. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. You get to play more decks and also more varieties of decks. When you're play testing for those big tournaments, you don't buy those cards, you just rent them. And if it doesn't work, you send them back and you keep play testing every single card of the 100,000 cards that exist in Magic the Gathering. It's overwhelming sometimes thinking about it. It's like there's more Magic cards than there are atoms in the universe, or there will be one day. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_U3V. Alright, now we go back to the crazy Eldrazi. The Eldrazi's around here. Alright, Chalupa Cabra, Breaker of Armies. Is this Eldrazi? Counter 5. 8 mana for a 10/8 Eldrazi. All creatures able to block Breaker of Armies do so. But it's 8 mana. What an awkward Eldrazi.
Like a magnet.
Yeah, it's like a magnet. Alright, I put you in the C tier. You like that? Breaker of Armies? Can you break out of the C tier? Probably not. Did I miss any super chats? We got Yo Little Tit, the Spawnshire of Ulamog. The Spawnshire. Sounds like he's from the UK. From the... Oh, no. How many Spawnshires are there? Spawnsire? Okay, maybe it's not what I thought. Spawnsire. But what the hell is a Spawnsire? I guess that's where you spawn. It's where everyone spawns. That's the spawning point in, you know, first-person shooters. All right, 10 mana for a 7/11. I like it. Like it. What do we get at 7/11?
The Slurpees.
That's right. I'm from Winnipeg, and we are the Slurpee capital of the world. Okay, Annihilator 1, pay 4. Put 2/0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn tokens onto the battlefield. They have sack this creature, add 1 mana to your mana pool, and pay 20. Cast any number of Eldrazi cards you own from outside the game without paying their mana cost. Thank God we've got a card that can basically win the game if you have infinite mana. Because if you have, yeah, the 20 mana ability. Is that the most expensive ability in the game? Is that the most expensive ability? I think it's the most expensive ability in the game. Look at his big foot. Might as well be called Bigfoot. Yeah, you spawn everything. Is this the real mommy? Ulamog. Or I guess Ulamog gave birth to the Spawnsire. Where are we going to put this? I guess we'll put it at B. This is a bit of a clunky win condition, but it is a win condition. Because if you can cast all the Eldrazi's, you'll at least cast your Emrakul, get an extra turn, and then, like, cast everything else. Because if you have 20 mana, you probably have infinite mana. I do not believe for a second that you pay 20 mana, like, with lands. That's a bunch of nonsense. Okay, we've got... What else? Next, we got Yo Little Ted again with the Brizella. Does this count? Voice of Nightmares. The Belbiel Eldrazi Angel. It's been a while. Alright, while we wait, we'll keep looking at Spawnsire of Ulamog's Bigfoot. It is an Eldrazi Angel. Alright, 9/10. Flying First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink. Your opponents can't cast spells with converted mana cost to 3 or less. Isn't there some work to get this thing in play? Yeah, you have to put 2 cards together, which makes this... Really? Okay. Top tier picture. S tier picture. Probably... This thing is so hard to get in play, though, right? Flying First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink. It does everything. But you need the 2 cards together. C tier. But S tier picture. So if you want to play it for the picture, then go for it. Because you need to get like 2 cards in play and meld them together or some crap like that. That's a lot of work. That's more work than like just paying 20 mana to cast Sponsire of Ulamog. In my opinion. Am I right or am I wrong? It's very hard to get in play. There we go. I just needed 1 person in chat to verify that. Alright, next we got Joe! Do we do Promise End yet? No we didn't. Emrakul, the Promised End. Is it really the end? She's in the moon. She'll be back. Is she back in the story? Like, did she get released by the Phyrexians? That's probably the Phyrexians' demise. They tried to open up the moon, take over Emrakul, and Emrakul ate everything.
I like Canister's edit of this card.
What is it?
Oh god.
I don't know.
Like the hipster Emrakul.
Oh, what is it, like a toque or something?
It's got sunglasses on, and it's really good. It's really
All right, whatever. 13 mana for 13/13. Emrakul, the Promised End, costs 1 less to cast for each card type among cards in your graveyard. When you cast Emrakul, you gain control of target opponent during that player's next turn. After that turn, that player takes next turn. It's effectively like a time walk. You get an extra turn, but you're controlling someone else's turn. And then they get like their regular turn after that. So it's like you didn't really take control of their turn. You got an extra turn, but in the form of like taking control of someone else's soul. And then Flying Trample, protection from instants.
Emrakul, the jig is up. That's what it's called.
Oh yeah, the jig is up, Emrakul. Or is it? Okay, this card actually sees a lot of play. I think it's S tier. It's a powerful card, sees a lot of play. Or it sees enough play. It sees more play than these bozos down here. Alright, what do we got? We have Herbert, the Artisan of Kozilek. Isn't this also a Pauper card? No, it's not. It's not legal in Pauper. Okay, 9 mana for a 10/9. I got promos of this card. When you cast this spell, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Annihilator 2. I swear this sees play somewhere, but I could be wrong. It's not a terrible card. It's not a great card either. It's 9 mana for dirtling around. Ugh. Okay, we'll give it B tier. I feel embarrassed putting this in the same tier as Matter Reshaper, though. That's pretty sad. Very, very sad. Reality Smasher. Coming to smash someone's with Linkal. The Smasher. 5. I lost to this card millions of times.
Oh, yeah.
So 1 colorless, 4 generic for a 5/5 with Trample and Haste. Reality Smasher. So how does this guy have Trample, but the biggest Eldrazi type, they don't have Trample? They can be blocked by squirrels. Trample and Haste, whenever Reality Smasher becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell unless they discard a card. So you gotta discard something. As easy to stop as it is to comprehend. Oh yeah, so it's hard to comprehend, so hard to stop. Very, very good card. Very good in aggro Eldrazi lists. Really castable. A very efficient threat. Strong, bulky buff. It's been drinking its protein powder. Yeah, so this is an A tier card. In my opinion. And my opinion matters most on this show, because I'm making the tier list. Ulamog gotta stop and eat whatever blocks. Yeah. That's what it, I guess that's what it is. So these guys, I guess the big titans, they're interested in eating you up. So they like block, they take a time, when you block them, they take the time to, I don't know, snack on you, I guess. Homer! With Thought Not. How's it go? Thought Not. Thought Not Seer. Colorless, 3 generic for a 4/4 Eldrazi. Enters the battlefield. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. Choose an online card from it and exile it. But when it dies, your opponent draws a card. So this card is pretty strong, especially if you're playing with a lot of the soul lands. You just get this. You just ramp this thing out on turn 2, and that is an absolute beating. This thing on turn 2, then it's basically Thoughtseize. And sure, you can kill it and draw an extra card, but they took something good from you. You can draw like a land off of Thought Not Seer. It's really nonsense. It's what?
It's drooling.
Is he?
Or it's crying.
Yeah, something's happening. Well, you know, it's got no eyelids, so I guess the only defense to keep the eye moist is like, I don't know, all this oozing stuff, so there's no other way. No way around it. It's a very efficient attacker and blocker, since suck up a lightning bolt. A tier card. Very A tier. Does anyone play that in command? It's probably not a great commander card, to be honest. Random question, is colorless technically the 6th color? No. It is because it is colorless. There's no color there. Doesn't count. You try spending colorless on an engineered explosives. The judge will tell you to F off. You can't do that. They'll give you a game rule violation. But I thought it was the 6th color. Nope.
Purple is the 6th color.
Well, eventually it will be. It is, okay, I will say it is like unofficially the 6th color. We could just put it like that. Herbert! Eldrazi Displacer. Oh, that one is so annoying. I hate this card. Especially in Death and Taxes decks. White 2 generic for a 3/3 with Devoid. But you can pay a colorless 2 generic, exile another target creature. Then you blink it. You blink creatures for a generic and 2 colorless. Or sorry, colorless and 2 generic. It's really frustrating. You don't need this in an Eldrazi deck. You can put it in a mono-white blink deck or a blue-white blink deck or any sort of blink deck. They'll take him. They'll adopt this little Eldrazi. He's not so evil like the other things. Doesn't have Annihilator, so he's sort of cute in that regard. It's the Displacer. Very good card. I'll put it in the A tier. It's a good, very strong card. Get value. If you like value, you're gonna love the Displacer. Remember, if you're playing a white commander deck, you can play this card. Oh no, maybe you can't. Hold on, it has no color. Does that break the rules? Okay, I do not know the commander rules here. I'm sorry, I apologize. I've maybe spoken out of turn here. It's got the white mana symbol, but I don't know how Devoid mixes with that. Or is that fine? If it has no color, then maybe that's okay. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna assume that you can play this. You can correct me in the comment section. Yeah, that boy be blinking. It be blinking around here. DJ Sushi says, I play most of these colorless Eldrazi on this list in my colorless commander decks. Oh, is that how it's allowed? It's colorless, so it can be played? So I can play this in my mono blue deck? Is that how the identity works? You can include it, but have fun casting it. Alright, so that's the problem. Eldrazi Conscription! Eldrazi Oh, is that the crazy aura card? It is, the Eldrazi aura. Sorry, I have a super chat back here. I'll get to you, Herbert. I didn't miss you. 8 mana for the Eldrazi Aura. Enchant creature. Gets +10/+10 and has Trample and Annihilator 2. It's actually quite a wild enchantment. There are some ways of cheating this thing in play. All of such ways, I don't know. I just know it's possible. It's a B tier card. Have fun. Wiping people out. I don't remember how you do that, though. All right, we got Herbert with Eldrazi. Did we do that one already? We just did that one. All right, we just did that one for you, Herbert. That one was for you. I didn't know there was a super chat for that.
Inverter of Truth?
Do we have Inverter?
Somebody said it.
Well, that's not good enough. I need to see it. Okay, box of box. I like trying to get to people who have never... Brood Butcher. Everyone got to have a chance on this show. Everyone got to have a chance. You can see my how I type in the top today. The Brood Butcher for a green, black, 3 generic. Are they butchering their own Eldrazi? That's disgusting. All right, 3/3 with the Void. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature token onto the battlefield. It has sacked this okay, whatever. You guys know how these things work. You can pay a green and a black, sack the creature. Target creature gets -2/2 until end of turn. You are sacking your own Eldrazi. Sack your own. You're like goblins. Unbelievable. It's the goblin mentality. Okay, we need to fire a cannon. Does anyone have any cannonballs? What do you need cannonballs for? What are you here for?
You're gonna sacrifice Kozilek so that somebody can get -2/2.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. All right, it seems like a fine C tier card. King Ginger with the super chat. Thanks so much. Sire of Stagnation. We're going with the Sire Okay, black, blue, 4 generic for a 5/7 with the Void. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of his or her library, and you draw 2 cards? That's pretty wild. That's a great card. So basically, hey, don't draw. That's insane. I never heard of this card. This is so good.
It's modern legal.
Yeah, it's modern legal, but I'm not playing this card. At that point, no one's going to put lands in play. I mean, if you can get this thing out early. But if you get this thing out in Commander, I mean, like, they're going to play their lands. This is worse than Rhystic Study. It's way worse than Rhystic Study. People are picky about their lands. Unless you're in competitive Commander. Maybe you're dead by then. I give it B tier. I don't think that's too bad. I like the card. Okay, Christopher B. Late to the stream, but not late with suggestions. Grizzled Angler.
It's like Gurmag Angler.
Is the backside an Eldrazi? All right.
Oh, it's
The Grizzly Anglerfish. So what, did it eat the angler? Or no, it's the fish. The Eldrazi ate the fish. It's a 4/5. Creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able. It's got 6 mana. It's for 6 mana. That sounds terrible. What's the front side of this? That's a 2/3 stupid human. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then if there is a colorless creature card in your graveyard, transform it. It's not too hard to transform, to be honest. You do gotta tap it. The second side is something to be desired.
It's like a merfolk.
You know what? It's a D tier card. I'm
Why
sorry,
did you take a
Christopher.
picture of the human?
Because
that's not the Eldrazi.
well, that's what needs to come out first. Oh yeah, that's true. I should...
What's he doing here?
I think well, he looks like he's about to get taken care of. Oh, wait, you want me to... Okay, I'll get the fish. We get the fish. You happy now? Yeah, we delete him. He's gone now. He's not canon anymore. Okay, here's the fish. Okay, we got him. Okay, Endbringer. That's a great card. Really good win condition. So colorless, 5 generic for a 5/5, which is not bad. And you can untap Endbringer during each other player's untap step. Tap, Endbringer deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Colorless tap, target creature can't attack or block this turn. So you can hold down the fort and pay 2 colorless tap, draw a card. Really busted in Commander because, you know, everyone has an untap step. You got an untap step, you have an untap step, you have an untap step. Excellent. This is great for the Endbringer. And it's just a great card overall. Just drawing cards over and over again. Can anyone play this card? This looks like almost like Consecrated Sphinx to me. But better. Well, maybe not better. Okay, it's worth... No, I mean, it's got some stuff going for it. You can, like, deal damage, even though it's 1 damage. And you can prevent things from attacking or blocking. It's really political card. That's an A tier card, if you ask me. That's an A tier card.
Are there any Eldrazi planeswalkers?
No, because it probably would be these guys. Oh, thank God, Emrakul hasn't found her spark. That could be really dangerous. That could be super dangerous if Emrakul found her spark. All right, we got Memento, Downyard Behemoth because Crab. Oh, sorry, Drown Yard Behemoth. Because you like crabs. All right, 9 mana for a 5/7 with Flash. All right, Emerge for a blue 7 generic. You may cast the spell, by sacking creatures. And then Drownyard Behemoth has hexproof as long as it entered the battlefield this turn.
Huh.
Because Crab, the big Crab Eldrazi. All right, it's not the worst card. You can actually cast it for a reasonable amount. It has hexproof for 1 turn. It's a C tier card. Not quite that D tier crap down there. You need neutral mana for it. Yeah, I understand. I get it. That's what the Soul Ring is for. How do you not have that? I mean, getting the colorless mana should be easy on all these cards. Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, the roll call of all the Grim Monolith. That's how it's done. Does Waste count as an Eldrazi card? No, it does not. We did Void Winter already. You can cast cards with the colorless mana, but you specifically have to use basic wastes to cast them. What, I can't use Soul Ring? I'm not allowed to do that in Commander? I don't know the rules. Okay, Markzilla with Xeraphon the Gatekeeper. Got gatekeepers in this game, huh? Xeraphon the Gatekeeper. Xeraphon. Did I do this correctly? Okay, well, how about we just do the Xeraphon?
Zeroland.
Okay, hold on. We'll just look at the Gatekeeper. You people.
There is a Zeroland. Go back.
No, well, I don't know if
Let's
that's
see.
real.
No.
No, that's not it. Okay, this card, you dreamt this one up, Markzilla. This card does not exist to any degree. All right, we got World Breaker. From John. Thank you very much for the super chat, John. Oops. World Breaker. Green 6 generic for a 5/7. When you cast it, exile target artifact, enchantment, or land. It's land destruction. And it's got reach, strangely. Sure, whatever. It can have reach. I don't know why it has any more reach than all the other Eldrazi's. And pay a generic 2 colorless, colorless 2 generic, sack a land, return World Breaker from your graveyard to your hands. Actually, a really efficient creature. Really, really good in competitive play, but also probably really good in Commander. Blow up people's stupid, annoying lands, bring it back from the graveyard, do it all over again. You're the largest acidic slime in some ways. Recurable acidic slime. We like it like that.
Markzilla says use the comma.
Who?
Markzilla says use the comma for the Zero fan.
I did. Oh, I didn't? Maybe I didn't. Okay, hold on. Where is it?
It's up ahead still.
Use the comma.
At the top.
Okay, we'll use the comma this time. Usually, I used the comma, Markzilla! Go on. I used the comma. You like that? The comma was used. Alright, Bread, Morophon is a shapeshifter. Yeah, that doesn't count. That's also a... We want me to put a capital Z? It won't work. I don't think your card exists. Just, it doesn't exist. You made it...
The card exists. It's the Eldrazi Lord, he says.
Well, find the real name. You don't have the real name. Yeah, Eldrazi Winter PTSD, the live stream. Oh yeah, Inverter of Truth is an Eldrazi. Inverter of Truth. The Inverter of Truth. Hold on, maybe I should look up one. This is Xeraphon and... Let me just Google this stupid thing. This is a fake card! This is not real! You tricked me into looking up an AI-generated card. Hold on. Open link in new tab. This is not a real card! Are you seriously playing this, Markzilla? This is a fake card! It's like... I'm probably contributing to like the custom card revolution, where like people just don't know what's real or fake anymore.
It is.
That's a fake card. It's a fake card.
No.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, it's not real. Did you print this? It's nice though. Markzilla, wow, you've been like cheating your play group for who knows how long. You've been playing with fake cards. All right, Inverter of Truth here. Okay, hold on. Well, let's okay. Maybe we'll look at this one. Devoid, other Eldrazi. It's a Lord for Eldrazi's. Whenever an Eldrazi you control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. Create a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi sign creature token with sack this creature, add a mana. Okay, Xeraphon the Gatekeeper. It's not a real card.
What's S tier?
We'll put it B tier. It's not that bad. People are like, what the hell is that card over here? That's hilarious. Well, I'm today's years old when I now realize the community can't tell the difference between real cards and fake cards. All right, black 2 generic, 6/6 with Devoid. It's flying, and when it enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your library face down, then shuffle all cards from your graveyard into your library. This card is not bad. I have played Thassa's, like you could combo with this off with Thassa's Oracle. It is surprisingly a big beating creature, though. Like, even if you don't combo off, you might just beat your opponent down with a 6/6 flyer. So it's pretty good by itself. So, Inverter of Truth. But it does combo off with Thassa's Oracle.
You played with this card a few times.
I tried to make it work in a Merfolk deck. It failed miserably, admittedly. I'm going to give it I'll give it A tier because it does have that combo potential with Thassa's Oracle.
We have done it that betrays, yes.
Yeah. What do we have left? Eldrazi Mimic from Abe. I can't believe. What is that thing called? Zerophon. We gotta remember that.
Capital Z.
Just in case. Yeah, capital Z and the comma. Eldrazi Mimic. Well, we gotta remember if this, if it ever happens again. Oh, it's another Zerophon moment. Another Zerophon. Okay, Eldrazi Mimic, 2 mana for a 2/1. When another colorless creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may change Eldrazi Mimic's base power and toughness to that creature's power and toughness until end of turn. This is good in that it is good in Eldrazi decks, period, because if you're trying to play aggro Eldrazi, well, this is like one of the few things you can play early on in the game, and this does contribute to some of your more broken starts, where you like spew out like 3 Eldrazi Mimics, turn 2 you play like Thought Knot Seer or a Reality Smasher and smash your opponent for like 15 damage right off the bat. And it's still a 2/1 at the end of the day. So Eldrazi Mimic actually I think is one of the better Eldrazi's out there. I think I can give it an A tier. It's aggro Eldrazi. We got he just got here. Did we do It That Betrays? Yeah, we did. We did It That Betrays. I think we've done a lot of the good ones. We got, what are we gonna give you this one? Kozilek, The Great Distortion. Oh, that one. Zerophon. This is the greatest moment all month. Kozilek, The Great Distortion. Colorless, 8 generic for a 12/12. If you cast it, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw a card. Draw cards equal to the difference. Sure, draw 7 extra cards. You probably need them after you've spent 10 mana on this thing. It's got Menace. Did it really need that? Oh no, 2 squirrels. Discard a card with convert mana cost X. Counter target spell with convert mana cost X. Really busted card if you can get this thing out. And it basically draws your deck. Great control card too. Hard to block. S tier. S tier Eldrazi. They did make, to the Wizards of the Coast credit, they made the big Eldrazi's like really good. Really strong, really powerful. You guys want your conduit? Okay, here's your second shot here, Markzilla. Is this one a real card? How many fake cards is Markzilla playing in their commander deck? Conduit of Ruin, 6 mana for a 5/5 Eldrazi. When you cast Conduit of Ruin, you may search your library for a colorless creature card with converted mana cost 7 or greater. Reveal it, then shuffle your library and put that card on top. The first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. That's not bad. That's a good card, actually. It's an okay card. Makes your Eldrazi's cheaper. It's a tutor, right? What we tutor? Exactly what convert might cost 7 or greater. So we tutor out the bigger Eldrazi's. I like that card. B tier. That's a B tier card. Doesn't really see competitive play, but I think it's a strong casual card. Strong casual playable. Did we get dual deck? Oh my god, that is... Wizards of the Coast, are you listening? That is a $1 million idea right there. Dual deck, Eldrazi versus the squirrels. And make it in such a way that it's Annihilator versus like tons of squirrels. Give the squirrel deck a bunch of synergy. Brood Warden. What does brood mean? Like giving birth or something? Alright, we got a green 3 generic 4/4 Eldrazi spawn creature tokens you control. Get +2/+1. It's a lord. We got our lord on the battlefield.
A legitimate one.
A legitimate lord.
Not that
it's awkward. It doesn't give you anything except the lord effect, so I'm going to give it C tier. And you got to be in green. I think any single time that you have a color, it needs to have a big payoff. It's probably good in like in a Scion version. In the Scion one, you can do that. The squirrels would win easily. That's possible. You gotta balance those decks out. The Eldrazi can sometimes win. Yeah, Emrakul versus 15 flying squirrels. Yeah, Chatterfang versus Emrakul. The battle everyone has been waiting for. Okay, what we got here? It's not colorless, so it's automatically a garbage tier Eldrazi. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Hector with Desolation Twin. I forget about a lot of these. We got 10 mana for a 10/10. When you cast this spell, create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token. Okay, whatever. It's not terrible. I wouldn't say it's great, though. Matter Reshaper looking pretty good on this B tier list. But it's such an awkward Eldrazi. Like, it's not the greatest in competitive play, and I don't think it's the greatest in casual either. Grant Miller, thank you so much for the super chat. Deep Fathom Skulker. Ooh, we're going deep on this one. Deep Fathom. You must really like this one. Blue 5 generic for a 4/4 devoid. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card! I love those effects. I'm a huge fan. Pay colorless 3 generic. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. I love these types of cards. And see, it's a single blue. I can live with this. I can live with this. And you got all the scions. You just go all out on someone. You just refill your hand easily.
It's basically a merfolk. It's underwater.
Well, I don't know about that. Ah, running out of space here.
Put it in E for Eldrazi.
Yeah, we don't have an E. We have every letter except E. All right, we'll give it a B tier. My head is getting in the way of A tier. Okay, what else do we have? Yeah, 10 mana for 2 10/10s. This last one. What a deal. It's a 2-for-1. 2-for-1, 50% off. It's all the same thing. What do you guys prefer? 50% offs or 2-for-1s? I think the 2-for-1 is statistically more popular. All right, we got Abe here. Thank you very much, Abe. Elder Deep Fiend is my... There we go. I was waiting for people to say this one. Elder Deep Fiend. This one's going deep. This is a great Eldrazi. This is a lot of competitive play. 5/6 flash, emerge. When you cast the spell, tap up to 4 target permanents. It's a beating. So once you get this emerge thing going on, you can loop it for... I mean, basically your opponent's lost. It's an Octopus Eldrazi. It's nasty. Is it holding someone? Looks like it's holding someone like a doll.
It has to be holding at least 4 things.
Why do you think so?
Because it would be flavorful. Tap up to 4 target permanents.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. I don't see the 4th one. Oh, flavor fail. All right. A tier card. Very, very good card. Very castable too because you can use the submerge effect. I'm in the way. Yeah, we're making room, people. We're making room. All right. What do we got next? This card is super creepy. Change my mind. Kozilek Sentinel is the worst. Did we do this one? Oh, wait, we did not. Red, 1 generic for a 1/4 with the void. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, Kozilek Sentinel gets +1/+0 until end of turn. What absolute rubbish this is. We're gonna play a red aggro Eldrazi deck? Never heard of it. Actually, you know what? I did hear about it.
Just now.
In Standard, there was mono red Eldrazi. It was like sort of a burn deck. Oh, did we not do... Everyone's like Ulamog. Ulamog, Ulamog. We didn't do the Infinite Gyre Ulamog. All right. Oh, yeah, one of the original ones. No, Xerophon's here. All right, 11 mana for a 10/10. You cast the spell, destroy a permanent! Indestructible, Annihilator 4. And when it's put in the graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library. So you can also use this as mill protection. They can ban Emrakul. They can ban Kozilek, but they can't ban all of them. I'm talking about... Well, and Kozilek, I think... They're both legal, right? Kozilek and... I believe Kozilek and Ulamog are perfectly legal in Commander. Right? Yeah, perfectly legal. Even in Oathbreaker. Alright, Ulamog. Let's do something in Oathbreaker. I think the Eldrazi are cool. I would not be afraid of making an Eldrazi Commander deck. If only I played Commander more than twice a year.
It danger.
Well, yeah, I can. The Eldrazi Annihilator 4 at danger. We got Grant here with the Nettle Drone. Oh, no, did we do Nettle Drone?
No.
No, we think we did Nettle Drone. Or maybe we didn't do Nettle Drone. We got 3/1 for red and 2 generic. And you can tap it, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Oh god, whenever you cast a colorless spell, untap a Nettle Drone. That's honestly not the worst. Here's the problem. Okay, so as a card, this is not the worst. As an Eldrazi, it's garbage. Ugh, okay, I'll give you the C tier. You can untap it every single time you cast colorless spells.
He looks like he should wrestle with the lead.
Does I have Ugin qualified? You know what? Let's throw some of those cards in there. I have Ugin. This card is, it's got the word Eldrazi on it, right? I swear it says Eldrazi. Oh no, or does it say colorless spells? No, it says, yeah, colorless Eldrazi spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. This card's insanely broken. In fact, it should be higher on the tier list than anything else. It should be S+. And pay 7. You can search your library for a colorless card revealed between your hand. Doesn't even need to be an Eldrazi. So this is like an Eldrazi card. I'll allow this because I want to see it. It's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want. I break the you guys can't break the rules. I can break whatever rules. Eldrazi Temple, that's a good one. Eldrazi Temple. I mean, there's soul lands for crying out loud. And this one, you could cast all your stupid Eldrazi mimics for free. Eldrazi Mimic, Eldrazi Mimic, Eldrazi Mimic. This one, you can just, yeah, same thing. That's what makes like the cheaper Eldrazi just absolutely broken. Alright, Eldrazi Temple, add 1 mana to your mana pool, or add 2 mana to your mana pool, spend it on Eldrazi's. Yeah. It's not, the show isn't about Eldrazi creatures, it's about Eldrazi cards, and that is an Eldrazi card. Easy S tier. Also probably super, like, above all this stuff. It's more broken than all this crap here. More fun is the best Eldrazi. You can't say that on this show. That's an offense to everyone who plays Eldrazi's. You also say it's the best merfolk. Ivugan was just Giga Workshop back then. It still is, if you want to play it. A Warping Whale. That is an Eldrazi card. This card should see more play. The Warping Whale.
Somebody was saying something about...
People say things about everything.
The Zorophon. I think the Z card they were going for was the Rainbow Changeling Zorophon, the Boundless. Is that real?
No, they specifically meant Zorophon the Gatekeeper.
He's saying Zero, but he's saying Zoro.
Well, this is the Gatekeeper. Anyway, I'm 100%. They realize that's the card. That's the card. They realize that's not real. I guess they Googled they Google searched like a bunch of like Eldrazi from what's it called, Reddit or whatever. Sorry, yeah, from Google. Okay, Warping Whale, colorless, 1 generic, instant. Choose 1. It's like Cryptic Command, but for Eldrazi's. Exile target creature with power toughness 1 or less. That's insane. That's a lot of cards. See, Mark Zilla, he just Googled Eldrazi in Google image search, and boom, that thing showed up. And it's like, wow, this is great. Not noticing that the set symbol doesn't exist. If you see a square, Markzilla, they're fake. That's the custom card symbol. Anyway, that's the fake one. It's a hilarious story. I love that. It's my favorite story of the month. And it's an early month. Or maybe it's an early April Fool's joke. I don't know. Anyway, this thing can counter sorcery spells, which is busted. And you can also ramp by putting a 1/1 Scion onto the battlefield. So this is also a great card. This is an A tier card, easily. I think this is underplayed overall in Magic the Gathering. Everyone has access to colorless mana. Don't lie to me that you don't have colorless mana around. You just have to, like, dig into your couch, and you pull that colorless mana out. Everyone has colorless mana. We are running out of space here. 2 rats with final iteration. The hell is that? Is that one of those... Oh, it's one of those things. All right, we could transform it. It's final iteration. Flying wizards you control get +2/+1 and have flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 blue human wizard creature token onto the battlefield. Oh, Delver of Secrets, what happened to you?
There's a lot of wizards in Merfolk.
There is, actually. Yeah, you want me to play this thing?
Yeah.
How do we even flip it? Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 blue human onto the battlefield, then if you control 3 or more wizards... so I just have to get 3 merfolk onto the battlefield, cast this thing. That's like an achievement unlocked. Play a whole league, just try to get to final iteration, and then lose.
Is it Modern League?
No. Oh yeah, it is. Sorry, it is Modern Legal. C tier. That's too much work. It's way too much work. I don't even think that. I don't even think that's a payoff in the end. Memento with the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oblivion Sower. That card is insane. That is a really good card. Okay, 6 mana for a 5/8. When you cast it, Now, when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, target opponent exiles top 4 cards of their library. You can put any number of land cards that player owns from exile onto the battlefield under your control. I have a lot of stories with this card. People played this against my Merfolk deck, and I didn't have Island Walk, but they stole my island, and then all of a sudden, oh, I have Island Walk, thanks. Thanks, dummy. You've unleashed my, you trapped yourself, I guess.
You played yourself.
You played yourself. That's a good moment for that. All right, this is gonna go A tier. Great card. Very strong. Good value. This is the Walmart of the cards on this on this list today. Is this a card? Howling Chorus? Well, be damned. We got... It's the other side, right? The Howling Chorus. All right. So we got 3/5 Werewolf Eldrazi. That's really weird.
It's basically for that enemy from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, creatures with power less than Howling Chorus's power can't block it. When Howling Chorus deals combat damage to a player, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi creature token onto the battlefield. Okay, that's not bad, but how easy is it to get onto to get this thing here?
6 mana.
3 creatures with power less than Squirrel Howler's power can't block it. You can transform it for 6 mana. I know, no, hold on, this is not the side that we want. We want this side. You happy? We got the actual Eldrazi side.
Yeah.
D tier. You are too much of a hassle. Pedgeman with the Abolisher of the Bloodlines. The hell is this? Okay, I'm just you have to, it's flipping these Eldrazi's are impossible. When this creature transforms into Abolisher of Bloodlines, target opponent sacks 3 creatures. That's not bad. That's not bad. And it's a vampire. A lot of vampire players out there. 5 mana for a 3/3 flyer. Sack 3 other creatures. So you sack 3 creatures to make them sack creatures, and you can also madness into play. You know, honestly, this is the best transforming Eldrazi we've seen. So for that, I'll give it C tier. Did I psych anyone out?
No.
On the next AI card day, maybe you should create a tier list of AI cards. Oh god. Yeah, I ranked AI generated cards on a tier list. It'd be like all S tier and D tier and nothing in between. No, S tier, D tier, and then question marks. Not of this. Oh, we don't think we did Not of This World. Oh yeah, counter. I like this card. You get to counter spells that target an Eldrazi you control. If it costs 7 or less to cast if it targets your big fat Eldrazi's. This is a good card. B tier.
No. It's S tier.
What are you talking about? Can anyone use this in competitive play? I have no idea. Yeah, it's Zyber. It's Zyber. Faster than you, Deceiver of Form. Deceiving us all. Colorless 6 generic for an 8/8 Eldrazi. At the beginning of combat on your turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's creature card revealed this way, you may have creatures you control other than Deceiver of Form become copies of that card until end of turn. That's weird. You may put that card on the bottom of your library. It's not the worst card. Hold on, but then you have to put at the beginning of your combat on your turn, reveal the top card. Oh, so you... Oh, it filters. So it's like a scry, if anything. You may put that... See if we become copies of that card. Why would you want... I guess you could become a copy of Emrakul or something. We're not done. There's a super chat left. We ain't done yet. I have to get through the super chat. This is where you can super... Okay, I actually think it's B tier worthy. Here. There we go. I think it's a pretty good card. It's not terrible. Herbert with the super chat. Thank you so much. Pathrazer of Ulamog. Did we not do this one? I guess not. Pathrazer of Ulamog. It's one of those OG cards, right? Ah, yes! This slow-looking fellow. 11 mana for a 9/9 Annihilator 3. Pathrazer of Ulamog can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Hard to block. Very hard to block this guy. Also hard to cast. Not pretty relevant. He's sort of cool, though. That's why we're going to put him in the C tier. And And I believe that is it. All right, everyone. That is our tier list. You love it? You have any disagreements? You can all let me know in the there's 2 super chats. Am I missing one?
Zero Fun needs to be S tier.
Oblivion Sword. We did that one. I skipped your super chat. Oh, okay, we gotta get to another super chat. Wait, where's yours, Wesley? These $2 super chats, people. So I don't always get a notification. Morphon, the Boundless. You happy? Morphon. It's not real. This is a shapeshifter. What are you doing?
It looks like an Eldrazi, though.
Do you know what? I mean, yeah.
S.
No, it doesn't match the list, so it can be here with all this other crappy rubbish down here. That not seer should be S. Thought not seer? I can't do it. It's a great card. You've been cheated. Were you trying to cheat the system? So yeah, it's funny. My brain didn't even register this damn thing. All right, whatever. Now we done. Are you happy? You think Morphon should be higher? You let me know in the comments section below. That's the whole point of the damn thing. All right, that's it for Coffee and MTG. Normally, we do this Monday to Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you very much, everyone, for supporting the channel. If you're a member on YouTube, a patron on Patreon, or you super chat during the show, everything contributes greatly, and I really appreciate it. And because of that, I never miss a weekday morning with all of you. So, but most importantly, thank you everyone for being here this morning. Like Mark Zilla, suggesting fake cards, M. Petri, Bread, Tommy Siddons, Hector, Wesley, Summer, Alex. We got Faster Than You, Sounds of Sushi, Alex, Box of Box. Because without you guys, I'd have no show. You guys make the show. So as usual, keep brewing up them coffees, my coffee crew, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.